It is an unanimity of opinion among Nigerians that the country cannot afford another strike by university lecturers at this time. Hence, 3-week ultimatum issued by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, must not be allowed to lapse. As such, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has called for a meeting with the leadership of ASUU, the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, and that of Education, Adamu Adamu. The legislative intervention is to fast-track release of funds agreed upon in 2020 ASUU versus federal government or stroke federal government agreement. Now, Femi Gbajabiamila, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, to the rescue now. Because before now, ASUU have been dropping that hints. Yes. Dropping that hints. Going, and we discovered that one thing the federal government, they know how to do best. Nobody will talk. So, when they started the full flag strike now, right, you now see people calling for intervention, right, you know, and everything. But it's good now that the people involved, the stakeholders, right, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Education, and the House of Representatives, and ASUU, and the Speaker of the, so trying to make sure that the ultimatum does not elapse. You
remember the strike of last year, March to December. Yes, how many months is that?
March to December.
Almost an academic year.
Oh, yeah.
A full academic year.
So, now, what worries me is this. 22-point-something billion. The president of ASUU says the money is already sitting down in the accounts. So, Igbo people, you know, I lived in the East for some years. They say, what is holding the dog from dying? What is holding that money from being released?
Bottleneck.
There's something called AIE in government, Authority to Incur Expenditure. It goes for, that is how central bank will release money to your account once they receive the AIE from your supervisory ministry or whoever it is. And all this nonsense argument that this allowance is for individuals, it's not for union. I mean, what is the purpose of this semantics? Is it that somebody in government just enjoys unnecessary argument? If the money truly is sitting in your account, in the central, issue the AIE, Authority to Incur, so that the relevant authorities will transfer the money to all the universities. And then they can disburse these allowances. So, well, anyway, maybe people who maybe they are looking for money to buy
because it's as if
the mosquito nets that they want to buy. Maybe that is what they are looking for.
It's as if the federal government, I don't know, it's as if they enjoy this one day one trouble syndrome. We've just selected the resident doctors, as in the resident doctors just finished their protracted, and I really want to think that everybody will want to come together to make sure that this strike is averted.
Don't worry, there is not going to be any strike. The Minister of Labour has assured us that there is not going to be any strike, that the money will be paid before the ultimatum expires.
What's held the money since last year?
Well,
they had made budgetary allocation provisions for that 22%.
So that is the question billion. We should now be asking ourselves. That why should we always wait for unions to either threaten strike or go on strike before government implements an agreement it reaches with unions? That is the question we should be asking ourselves. Yeah. Because if at the end of the day this money is paid within 3 weeks, it means that money is there, but somebody or somewhere just enjoys it. Yeah. When people say we want to go on strike, or they go on strike, and that is why people say it's because their children are not affected.
I guess so.
Because if your child is affected, you will think twice. Because you want the best for your children. That is why somebody like me, if it is possible for me, if I'm in power, I will push for a legislation that once you are in power, and you have children that are going to school, your children should school in Nigeria. Exactly. I know that you have the right to send your children to school anywhere, but if you are a government official, you are in power or whatever, for that, it's either you choose to be in power and send your children to go and school anywhere in the world, or you be in power and let your children school here, you to enjoy the health facilities here, and let us see whether they will not take care of those areas. Or if we continue to leave it that, okay, education, then the children of the poor will be the one going to these schools, and they will continue to spoil the education system.
Okay, I have Saliu. Saliu is calling us from London. Thank you for joining us, Saliu.
Hello.
Yes, Saliu. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you. I want to make some contribution.
Go ahead, please.
This is about the EndSARS report.
Go ahead.
This is about EndSARS report.
Saliu, you're live. Go ahead.
This is about the report that came out from the committee of the EndSARS.
So, where do we go from here? Now,
What do you go
she
from here?
has given us that confidence because I am not sharing from our optimism. I don't know why. We've seen this over and over again. This ultimatum will lapse, and these people will go into strike, and it will go on for weeks, months, and you begin to look at it that right now they say it's teaching time. Seems like if there's anything we can do, if the money is available, if it is true, why don't you just remove those bottlenecks?
Just do the thing. And I don't understand. And what also worries me is that it appears Mr. President is aloof. He's not aware. It's as if these things are just happening and he's not aware. I understand he has traveled.
Well, Mr. President has been doing a lot of traveling.
Yes.
Yeah, in the last 1 month he has been very busy.
And this is where we get into handing over power. Because I imagine that the last how many days he has been out of the country, from Scotland to France to South Africa to everywhere. Whoever is the vice president ought to have been given the authority as acting president, so he can take a decision over this matter. My concern is that these people claim that the money is sitting down there. And I read a report that this 2021 budget, 53% of revenue expected came in, which means money has been coming in apart from the loan, which the president says is used for infrastructure. So, and there is provision, unless it is a lie, that there's a provision for this 20-point-something billion in the 2021 budget. So what is holding this money? Why not just pay it if somebody is not looking for...
Now, if they pay that money, would that forestall the strike?
At least for now, that is
because
what
that's not the only demand.
That's what I'm saying, that for now, that is what the ASUU is holding on to. If they pay the money, they can still continue to negotiate with ASUU on other issues.
Okay, I have Godwin from Ikorodu in Lagos.
Not Ikorodu, Ikoyi rather, Ikoyi.
Ikoyi, thank you for joining us, yes. Godwin. Still in Lagos, Ikoyi.
My pleasure, Mr. Ayo. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Like your guest, the lady in the studio.
Olabisi Deji Folutile.
Yes, I have been advocating to that. What needs to be, you see, we must take a drastic step to address Nigeria's problem. If not, talking like this, I have been listening to your program for God knows how many years now. And I have every week, every day, we talk issue like this. Number one, every government official, if you talk of school, their children are not school abroad. If that is done, I'm telling you, everything will fall down in place, everything will come back in place. That's number one. Secondly, even their healthcare, if they are coming to this particular this country to their hospital in Nigeria, they have hospital in Nigeria. I'm telling you, everything they will repair it within 24 hours they will repair it. So if you continue to, like, what people are doing, I like it. So if we continue to press on, like what the lady said, if we continue to press them, so that if government push for legislation that everybody, as far as you are in government, as far as you are a government worker, so you must, your child, your work must school in Nigeria.
Thank you, Godwin.
Your hospital must be in Nigeria.
Thank you, Godwin. I don't know how.
But he has a point.
Yes, that's going to be a very difficult legislation, difficult decision to make, and it takes time.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a legislation. It could just be an administrative, like I recall when I joined the federal government, there was one oath that we signed also of that there are some things you are not going to be saying.
Oath of secrecy.
So I don't know if that was in, I can't remember exactly what it, but it's as if they say that information that comes to you, sensitive information that comes to you in line of your assignment, you can't just, So I understand that. And you consciously take that as part of what is your condition of service. You understand? So this could be, look, Mr. X, you are taking this job. Part of the condition of service is that your children must go to school in Nigeria. 2, medical something must be, and we will provide educational facilities for your children. See what happened.
But we don't have them in place.
See the history. If you get to UI, you will hear international school.
Yep.
You will hear the
staff school.
The staff school.
Staff school international.
You know
school.
what happened? When the only way to persuade
we have to go.
professors to come from Britain to come to Nigeria to establish
those schools for the
is to have equivalent of schools for their children.
Health centers,
exactly.
Staff school, international
Thank
school.
You.
They have it in Lagos.
That's the idea. That's how all of them now start saying, and then the federal civil servants too. They establish unity schools throughout the so that as they are transferred, their children will go to good school.
Okay.
Let's do the same.
Lekon Shote, thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
Olabisi Deji-Folotile, thank you for your contribution today. We couldn't get BKO from the Northeast. I'm sure he's moving from one state to another state in the Northeast. But I'm sure if he's back, we have a lot to talk about. And that's our offering today.